Okay, that's a big red candle on Bitcoin, taking Bitcoins to levels not seen since Sunday. Yeah, exactly. We're back at Sunday's levels, 43,400. Today we're going to talk about 5 indicators that show us that Bitcoin may be going to $220,000. And then we're going to talk about the flippening. We're going to be talking about whether Cardano is actually going to flip an Ethereum, because apparently that's what the word on the street is, that Cardano is about to flip an Ethereum. So it's going to be a huge show today. We're also going to be degening about altcoins with Alex Becker. And we're going to talk about Luna and Arweave. And we'll also have a graduation ceremony. So today's going to be a massive show. And we're going to be giving away at least $10,000 on the show today. So stay tuned till the end. I'm Crypto Mad, and this is going to... Welcome back, Banter fam. Be here for the second time today. I'm Crypto Man Ran. I'm here twice a day, bringing you crypto love and crypto wisdom, and building the best crypto community in the world. So if you're new to our channel, welcome. Subscribe to our channel. There are at least 3 or 4 streams every single day. We have 2 streams here. We have a technicals or charting stream in the morning. Then we have a fundamental show at this time. And then we have 2 other streams on our new channel, which is called Microdose. And that's exactly what it is. It's like a microdose of crypto content. So it's everything you need in 10 minutes, no side effects whatsoever. No side effects at all. Today we've got a big show. We're going to be talking about Bitcoin and about what this red candle means. Could be in trouble. It actually could mean trouble. I did say it earlier. I said there's no institutional demand for Bitcoin whatsoever. So let's look at what this red candle means. Relax, guys. We're only back at Sunday's levels. We have a graduation ceremony here today. We're graduating. We have a big graduation ceremony here today. And then we're going to be talking about Cardano and Ethereum. And we're going to talk about whether Cardano is actually going to flip an Ethereum. I mean, look at what's going on Cardano. Cardano is up 100x, I think, since the lows. Let me just confirm that before you accuse me of talking garbage. About, I don't know, it started like 4 cents, 5 cents. Okay, let's go to March. Okay, no, since March it's up a lot. 32 cents. That's about 10x up since March. So we're going to be talking about whether Cardano can flip Ethereum, because it is getting very close. And there is this article which says quite clearly that experts believe that Cardano will displace Ethereum as the largest crypto as ADA prepares for a 400% breakout. That is according to FX Streets, and these guys are super smart. So we're going to talk about that. Also, the Banter fam. I love the Banter fam, and I'll tell you why I love the Banter fam, because that's exactly what it is here. We're a family. We look after each other through good, through bad. Dollar Currency 21, who is from Iran, is coming to South Africa. We've got him a job here at Crypto Banter. We're getting him a visa right now. And remember, back when we had the Banter Bags, we had Irfan. And Irfan was the Australian who lost his job due to COVID. He was working in the airline industry. And he had just found out that his wife was pregnant. And we decided to give him the Banter Bags. Remember that guy? And he had a baby. I think I showed you a picture of Irfan's baby. I think we called him the first Banter baby, if I'm not mistaken. Let me quickly remind you. Let me go to my Twitter DMs and show you a picture of the first Banter baby. Do we have? Aha, here we go. So this is the first Banter baby. That's Irfan's baby. And this is Irfan, for those of you who don't remember him. Irfan, how are you, my friend?
Hey, Rand, how are you?
Fantastic, man. How is it being a father?
It's been fun, actually. I like it. Big change, of course, but it's been really, really enjoyable.
And tell me, did you get some new work? Are you working again? Talk to me about your work situation.
The situation has just gotten worse in Melbourne, in Australia, basically. We've been under lockdown for now, probably a month now, I'd say, and there's no sign of easing. And most businesses are going out of business, so very unlikely that the airlines will kick up anytime soon.
So listen, the last time that we met, we gave you the Banter Bags. I think by now you've got a lot of the tokens. Some of the tokens are still coming. We know that. And there is another community member who is the head of a project called Wayu. Wayu is an NFT project that's being built on Solana. And he contacted us the other day because we're starting to do stuff with him on his project. His name is Chris. Chris, welcome.
Thank you very much, Ran. It's a pleasure to be here. Irfan, it's an absolute pleasure to meet you. I think we forget in these bull runs, that there's a lot of people left behind. And I think that's where the Banter family comes to the forefront of the entire ecosystem. And I'm just happy to be here and to share with you on behalf of the WiiU Foundation.
Wait, hold on. Don't tell him anything. So, Irfan, do you know why I called Chris, and do you know why you've been called back on the show? Do you have any idea?
No, Fred just said that they wanted to see me back on Banter, I guess, for the baby, Banter baby.
Well, yeah. So what is the baby's name?
Hamza.
Hamza. Okay, amazing. I thought you were going to call the baby Run, but I guess not.
I said that to the wife. She said, let me think about that.
Okay, so you have no idea why you're here. Chris, tell him we had a conversation about a week ago, and you brought up Irfan's name, and you wanted to do something out of the blue. I didn't even mention it. Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, listen, I've been in the crypto space, blockchain space, and development space for several years, crypto and Bitcoin since 2013. We tend to forget in bull runs that the technology itself is incredibly powerful to change the lives of different people. And with all of the projects that I head, the Effect Network, and now WiiU, being one of the board members on WiiU, it's incredibly important to pay it forward and let people know what this technology is, how it can help. So we've always worked very closely with the United Nations on all kinds of different things. And when I heard the story, obviously I've been a big fan of crypto banter for forever. I've been trying to get on the show since like 1997 before you guys even thought of the show. But I saw your story, and crypto has changed all of our lives. We tend to forget it, especially the ones that have been here. Some are just changing. And we know, we've been here through all of the ups and the downs. We know that it's the future. And we want to pay that forward. And I want to be part of communities that pay that forward. And Crypto Banter is the #1 in the entire space for that. So I reached out to Rand and I said, listen, the story with Irfan, it touches my heart a lot. My son was born in Melbourne. I understand that COVID is affecting so many people's lives. This new stuff that's going on in Afghanistan, there's so much that a lot of us aren't thinking about too much. And I really urge all of you guys to think about that. But to kind of put it on the table, make sure that we collect as many good-hearted and amazing people in the crypto industry before things turn south, which will eventually happen. It's really important to pay it forward. So on behalf of myself, the WiiU Foundation that I run right now with this project that we're putting together, we want to gift you personally $5,000 worth of WiiU tokens, which you can't have yet because it hasn't even launched. So that's launching next Tuesday on PancakeSwap, but we will get your information to get that over to you. But the very first Banter baby, we definitely can't leave this one out. So we want to match that as well. And that's what I want to gift to you and the family, just the power of community in this space. But I also told a bunch of my crypto friends that I was coming on Banter to speak with you, and I told them the story. And I've collected a little bit over another $10,000 in different types of cryptos. So it's $20,000 altogether. And just to set you on your way and maybe ease a little bit of the pain and suffering. And this is a shout out to like everybody else in the crypto space. There's a lot of people suffering. So make sure you step up and yeah, share what's going on here. But yeah, on behalf of the WiiU Foundation, we'll get that over to you through Ran and his incredible program.
Wow, thank you so much. I had no idea this was all happening. I mean, this is a complete shock to me. And thank you so much. Thank you, Ran. As always, I don't know what to say. I'm speechless, to be honest.
Yeah, listen, I also didn't have a clue about this because I was talking to Ran and I said, this story really means a lot to me. And I want to gift Irfan and the new Banter baby some crypto. And he said, I'm not giving him anything. You're giving it to him. So then I had to come on here, you know. So, but yeah, it's a pleasure and an honor. And I think it symbolizes what this ecosystem is about. So yeah, it's our pleasure.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ran. You're just awesome. And thank you so much from you guys as well.
Listen, we're a family. We're a family. You've been a loyal supporter of Banter for a long time. We're a family. We need to help each other out. And you know, the best thing here for me is that this is not Crypto Banter giving to you. This is another member of the Banter family seeing another member of the Banter family in need and saying, I have in abundance and I want to give someone that needs. And that is what this Banter family is all about. And I'm so proud that we could create this platform for all of you as a family to connect and help each other out, whether it's on the chat forums, and the YouTube chats, on the Twitter. We're a family, and that's what it's all about. So thank you, guys. Thank you to both of you.
Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
much love to the family.
Pleasure. My pleasure.
Chris, thank you.
Thank
you. From
Very
one
welcome.
Banter family member to another.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Chris.
Wow. You see, that's the power of the Banter family. We're a family. If you're new, just subscribe to our channel and like these videos and get this content out there, because it's much more than just a crypto show. It's a reality show with a family where we all look out for each other. And this is exactly what it's about. And a lot of us are making money now. And the big message is we've got to give back. We've got to give back to people all the time. We just have to. It's part of our responsibility. And Uncle Ran tells you that you're going to get it back tenfold. So be grateful. All right, let's get into the news of the day. The news of the day is, of course, Bitcoin and this red candle. And I think it's nothing to worry about. I mean, we did go up extremely quickly. And we're going to get pullbacks. And if we said this morning, we're going to get pullbacks, and we might even go back down to 43 or 44 or 45,000, because Bitcoin has gone up in the last month. I mean, let's just look at the last month. You're talking about since the 19th of August. Let's go even further back. Let's go a month back. So 19th of July. Let's see where we were on the 19th of July. Let's actually go into a bigger chart for you guys. You can see that in the 19th of July, or actually it was the 25th of July, we were at 28,430. We're now over 60% higher. So I think we need to just get some perspective as to where we're at. And there are a lot of signs, if you want to call it that, indicators that say that we should have an exponential run in the next part of the year. We spoke about a lot of those earlier. We spoke about the golden cross. Remember that golden cross, which we think is going to happen in about a couple of days, depending on the Bitcoin price, a couple of days. But when that happens, usually we see an explosion. We also spoke about how historically, and when we say historically, when we talk about 2017 and 2021, 2017, 2013, and 2021, in all those years, Bitcoin has had an exponential end of year. That's 2017. And if we go back to 2013, I think I showed this to you guys many times, but I'll show it to you guys again because there are some new people on the stream. Okay, I won't show it to you on this chart. But you can see that we have exponential bull runs towards the end of the year. We also have another indicator, which is the MACD indicator, which is a sentiment indicator. And what the sentiment indicator has shown is that every time that the sentiment indicator flashes, Bitcoin's price absolutely explodes. So the MACD is green for the first time since Bitcoin's all-time high, but the correction is, okay, this is the most obvious first step. Plan B stock to flow model also says that we are now heading towards a $220,000 Bitcoin. So that's the third indicator that tells us that we're going into a rampant end of year and probably going to about 220,000 towards the end of the year. So it does seem like there's nothing to worry about. Then we get this tweet from a guy called Pete Humiston, and he says, previous cycle tops have coincided with Bitcoin trading at 10 to 15 times its 200-week moving average. So what he's saying is every time we get to a top of a cycle, which is like here and here, you're talking about 15 times the 200-week moving average. And that goes back all the way to 2013, 2014, 2017. And currently we're at 3.3 times the 200-week exponential moving average. So it doesn't look like there's much to worry about. There are a lot of indicators that are showing that Bitcoin is positive. The one indicator that does worry me, and I have said this for a while, is the Grayscale Premium. And that gives us an idea of how much the institutions are aping into Bitcoin at the moment. And it does look like right now, the institutions aren't aping into Bitcoin at all. In fact, the premium on the Bybit Grayscale Premium is minus 15%, which means that any institution, instead of buying Bitcoin, can actually buy these Grayscale shares for less 15%. And right now, there's no demand for those Grayscale shares, which shows that the institutions are sitting out the market. And I've been saying this to you guys for the last 2 or 3 days. That is the one indicator that is really worrying me. The other indicator which was worrying me was the greed and fear index. And that is at a high now. But after this dip, I think it'll go down a bit. So I think, let's quickly look at the fear and greed index over here. Let's quickly have a look at that. So the fear and greed index was at extreme greed earlier. It was at 76 earlier. Let's see where it is right now. Okay, so it's only going to update later. It's at 79, but I bet you if we look tomorrow, it's going to be back down to about 72. And this is the one indicator that worries me, because when people get too greedy for too long, the leverage happens. And when the leverage happens, people get overexposed. And if they get overexposed again, then we'll get a great shakeout. Now, to be honest, I actually want that shakeout. I want Bitcoin back at $40,000, and I want the shakeout to happen quickly. And the reason why that needs to happen is because there are a lot of altcoins that I want to buy. And I can't buy those altcoins unless the price goes down, the price of Bitcoin goes down. This run happened too quickly for me, so I couldn't get into all my positions. Things like Thorchain, I wanted to buy a lot more. Thor Starter, I wanted to buy a lot more. Arweave, I wanted to buy a lot more, but I couldn't because this run happened too quickly. So I kind of want Bitcoin to go down. And if it does, not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. It's good. We want this healthy pullback in the market. And we're going to talk to Alex Becker about that. But before we bring in Alex Becker, and we're going to degen with Alex Becker for a long time. We're going to do like a whole lot of degening with him. I want to talk about Cardano, because there are 19 days to go with Cardano until the Goguen fork, which will give it smart contracts. That's when the smart contracts will be enabled. That will be on the 12th of September, right? Finally, after 4 years of developing, it's like the big moment for Cardano. And in anticipation of this big moment for Cardano, the Cardano price has gone absolutely parabolic. So, I mean, that is what the Cardano chart looks like. And even now, you can see Cardano is trading at $2.73. But just look at that chart from about a month ago at 98 cents. Cardano is about 3x'd. So there's a lot of anticipation for this amazing Goguen smart contract fork, which is happening. And it's 20 days. It's 20 days. And when that fork happens, Cardano will have smart contracts. And then you're going to have a network which is more decentralized than Ethereum. It's going to be cheaper than Ethereum per transaction. It's going to have smart contracts. It's going to be faster than Ethereum. It's going to be able to handle more transactions than Ethereum. And the market is getting super excited about this. The market it's frothing about Cardano coming to the market. So much so that if you look at the market cap of Cardano, let me call up the market cap of Cardano versus Ethereum, you can see that Cardano has done the impossible. Cardano is now above Binance Smart Chain, and Cardano is catching up to Ethereum. I mean, if you look, it's only 4x away from Ethereum. And so experts think that if Cardano has 3x'd in the last 3 weeks, all it needs to do is get to another 4x to catch Ethereum. And then Cardano will be the number 2 chain by market cap. And that is super, super, super exciting. The whole crypto universe is talking about smart contracts on Cardano and how Cardano can actually flip an ETH. And I came across this article today, which is written by FX Street. And it says, experts believe that Cardano will displace Ethereum as the second largest crypto as Cardano prepares for a 400% breakout. Okay, let's read that again. Sorry, this is you have to read it again to make sure that you understand it. Experts believe that Cardano will displace Ethereum as the second largest crypto as Cardano prepares for a 400% breakout. Experts. And then you read and says, analysts state that a gain of 4 times the current price and market capitalization would bring Cardano neck and neck with Ethereum. Obviously, if Cardano gains 4 times its current price, it's going to be with Ethereum. Crypto Twitter is abuzz with the possibility of Cardano flipping Ethereum to become the second largest cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency analyst Tai Zen states the time taken for Cardano to go from $5 to $10 will be shorter than the time taken to go to $5. Experts believe. Okay, this is the biggest garbage article that I've ever read in my entire life, because it says that experts state that a gain of 4 times the current price and market cap would bring Cardano neck and neck with Ethereum. You're making an assumption that if Cardano goes up by 400%, Ethereum isn't going to move. Okay, who are these experts? The experts are garbage, basically. And then it references an article from Lark, Crypto Lark, and I click on the article from Crypto Lark, and the article from Crypto Lark is completely unrelated. What it says is, can Cardano pull a 100x price move from here realistically? And he goes on to say, absolutely not. He said, so what is a realistic target for Cardano for, say, the end of the decade? Well, a 4x pump would put Cardano at the same market cap of Ethereum, $10 per ADA. 10x pump would give Cardano the same market cap as Bitcoin. So this article is a whole lot of hogwash. And I want to warn you about this, because the reason why I want to warn you about this is because as Cardano gets closer to smart contracts, people are hyping up Cardano unnecessarily. So we need to debunk the bullshit. And we need to get down to what's actually happening on Cardano versus what's happening on Ethereum. And let me tell you, I love Cardano. I love Charles. I am a big fan of the technology. I think the technology in Cardano is way better than the technology of Ethereum. But I don't think Cardano is going to flip on Ethereum anytime in the near future. And you got to be careful of the hype on Twitter. Because if you look at the hype, you see articles or tweets or stuff like this. Cardano moved 22.36 billion in transactions in the last 24 hours. ETH moved 10.62 billion in the last 24 hours, taking 1 day as a frame of reference. Talking about the fees over 1 day. Now, I agree. The fees on Ethereum are much higher than the fees on Cardano. A transaction on Ethereum can cost you $40, $50, $60, $70. A transaction on Cardano can cost you 17 or 20, I think it's 21 cents now, or something like that, 0.17 Cardano, whatever the number is. So Cardano is 900 times more efficient. It's true. And there's another article. Ethereum average fee, US dollar $10.96, Cardano 56 cents. Also true. But let's look at the facts here. Ethereum has been around for long. There are hundreds and thousands of projects in Ethereum currently working. There is $140 billion in total value locked on DeFi on Ethereum. The whole NFT explosion is happening on Ethereum. Okay? The Ethereum ecosystem, the Cardano ecosystem looks something like this. It's big. But none of these things have ever worked. In fact, if you look at this picture, Sunday Swap hasn't even launched, and it's listed here under one of the dexes for liquidity. Jira Wallet, which we love, and all these wallets which we love, some of them aren't even working. And you compare that to the reality of what's in the Ethereum ecosystem. You've got 1inch, you've got Uniswap, you've got SushiSwap, you've got Bancor, you've got Chainlink, you've got the Ethereum ecosystem is about 100 times more vibrant than the Cardano ecosystem. Cardano is just entering the race. And there's no way that right now Cardano can eclipse Ethereum. In fact, I would say that right now at a market cap of 25%, what Ethereum's market cap is, Cardano is probably at fair value for now. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. But for now, given what's happening on Ethereum, Cardano is probably at fair value, maybe even a bit expensive fundamentally. Ethereum, let's look at the numbers, the facts. Ethereum transaction count in the last month, in the last year, you've always got to take the last year. But look at the average. The average is, above 1 million, call it. Cardano's transaction count is 90,000 at the peak. 90,000 at the peak. And about 50,000 anywhere. So Ethereum is orders of magnitude bigger than Cardano when it comes to transaction count, right? Let's look at active addresses. So let's see if we can get the active addresses for you guys quickly. I want to show you guys how ridiculous the active addresses look here. Hold on, let me quickly show this to you guys. So Ethereum metrics. Okay, and then addresses, active address count. Okay, let's quickly look at this. Okay, assets, let's add Cardano to this. Close. And how do we get rid of the USD, Freddie? Oh, there it is. Okay, so. Okay, let's quickly go to 1 year, which is great. Okay, the red line is the Ethereum active addresses. The little green line here at the bottom is the Cardano active addresses. Facts. Let me go more to 2021. Okay, so. Okay, it's not giving me the readings, but what you can see is that there is no way that these two networks can compete with one another. Ethereum is orders of magnitude bigger than Cardano. And for anyone to think that that Cardano is going to flip Ethereum, or that Cardano's market cap should flip Ethereum anytime soon, you're crazy. Don't get caught in the hype in the next 12 days or the next 20 days before Cardano launches, because there is going to be a hell of a lot of hype. But most of it is exactly that. It is hype. And that's not to say that we're not bullish on Cardano. We love Cardano. We love Charles. We think that Cardano is the most impressive piece of technology out there, but it's not ready to eclipse Ethereum yet. In fact, not even close. Not even close. At least that's what I think. Let's see what Alex thinks. Alex, we can't hear you.
I'm figuring out my mic. I'm kind of new to this whole streaming and shooting videos thing, but I think I figured it out. What's up, man? How's it going?
What's up, man?
So what's up? What are we talking about? We're talking about Cardano and Ethereum right now.
You think that Cardano can flip Ethereum next week?
No, I don't.
Next month?
No. I like Cardano, and I agree with a lot of the sentiment that you said. So Cardano's just getting their smart contracts out. Solana has smart contracts. There's a whole list of things that have smart contracts. And look, Cardano might have a lot of advantages, and I think it does. But once it actually releases, it's going to actually, its price is going to be based on what it's doing and how it's being adopted. And so it actually has to do something at this point. And so we're at the point where we've never seen Cardano do anything before. So Cardano could be better than Solana. It could be worse. We haven't used it before. It's been used for anything. So it's all a speculative asset right now. And we're about to shift to the point that it's no longer a speculative asset. That could be amazing for Cardano. It could be really bad. I'm leaning towards it behaving like all the other smart contract systems. And again, Ethereum right now, gas fees are terrible. I don't like Ethereum at all. But I'm there has to be something that's going to diversify it from all the other smart contract systems and make it 10 times better for it to smash Ethereum right now. So that's just how I feel about it. I don't think Cardano's bad at all. It was one of my biggest holds for the longest time, but I think we're looking at the peak of it. And then once it releases,
that's
it's going to have to do something special to 4X from here. It's going to have to do something really special.
That's exactly the message to the community. We love Cardano. We think the technology is amazing, but it may be a little bit overpriced when you compare it to Ethereum, which is saying that Cardano is valued at one quarter the value of Ethereum with nothing yet built on it. And we do love it, and we know a lot is going to be built on it. But to me, that sounds pricey. Gun to your head, $10,000.
Oh, sorry. You continue. Sorry.
Gun to your head, $10,000 in your pocket. You have to invest in one token. It can't be, you can't split it. You got a 1 year holding period. Solana or Cardano?
Solana.
Tell me
why.
why.
It's where a lot of games are being built on. Star Atlas is coming out on Solana. They're doing a lot in the gaming sphere, so I understand Solana a lot more than I do Cardano at this time. And Solana has just a head start with a lot of the things it's working on to be used right away.
And Solana is trading at a market cap of $22 billion. So it's about 1/4 of Cardano's valuation.
Yeah, I'm just way more familiar with the gaming space, and there's already a lot of NFT stuff that's really cool happening on Solana. So if I'm going to be in something I'm a lot more familiar with, I mean, Cardano is going to be at the point Solana was when it released smart contracts. So it's going to have to get everything up and running, and it's going to have to do something. That's it. I don't think it's going to do badly. I don't know if it's going to do amazing, but it's going to have to prove its worth once it's live. If it doesn't prove its worth once it's live, we're going to see a bloodbath that's going to be, it's not going to be fun. Just leave it at that.
All right. So listen, you're one of us. You're a Degen.
Yeah.
You're an absolute Degen. I've been watching your journey. I've been watching your streams. You've gone from Bitcoin to Ethereum to altcoins to Degen altcoins to all in on gaming.
Yeah.
Tell me about the journey.
So I got into Bitcoin originally because I was gambling a whole lot, and you couldn't get money off this gambling website unless you got it through Bitcoin. So I got Bitcoin around right before the COVID thing happened. We're all aware of that thing. And then it went down a little bit, and I started noticing it creeping back up, but I noticed where it was before, and I looked kind of a bit into halvings and all that stuff, and I really didn't know anything about crypto. So I'm like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. I'm going to get rich. And so I just went absolutely ham on Bitcoin when it crashed during the COVID bout. I didn't even know what Ethereum was then. I didn't even Cardano sound. I thought it was like spaghetti or something. It sounded like an Italian recipe to me. So later on, around like December, later in the year when everything was really picking up, I think about a $30,000 Bitcoin, I really got into Ethereum and just Ethereum at that point. I was an Ethereum maxi because, again, I didn't know any better. I was just like, I looked at it, the smart contracts, and as you gradually peel the onion back in crypto, you start seeing there's so much more going on, and things make a lot different sense than the surface level. So Ethereum made sense way more. So I transitioned into Ethereum and got some really good gains in that. And I started noticing how terrible Ethereum was when I started using it in NFTs. And so then I transitioned completely into Cardano. And then at that point, I started noticing all the ecosystems and stuff going on. And I started noticing the gains in those. And I started noticing all the projects. And what I grasp a whole lot more than DeFi, because frankly, Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, the smart contract systems, I can't rip those apart. I can't understand those. It's decentralized finance, which I think is still very far off before the average person is using that. But there's products on the market that I do get. And as a software entrepreneur, which is my main job and focus, I understand products that work and products that the customer will use. And so I started getting into products people would actually be using, which in a lot of cases are these lower tier altcoins, the smaller ones. There's those small projects. A really good example is like SPI, for example. That's a e-commerce facing coin that customers will actually use. I get that. I understand that. And so I can find those things a little bit earlier. And so at that point, altcoins really took over my complete focus. I'd still be invested in DOT and all these other things. And then when the big crash happened in May, I really pulled out of a lot of all the caps. I got out about the middle of it, about a $1.80, $1.75 Cardano is about where I pulled out at. And when it went back down, I said, all right, what do I want to invest in long term? What do I understand and get long term? And what do I truly believe and know people are going to be using long-term, bear or bull. It's going to be games and NFTs. People are not going to stop collecting status symbols. They're not going to stop collecting art. For people to sell their crypto punks when Bitcoin crashes would be like people selling their Rolex when Bitcoin crashes. It's the same sentimental value to them. They're not going to sell it because people holding these things don't need the money. And plus, it's, again, why would you sell your Rolex? In case you made some really bad crypto decisions. Again, gaming, people aren't going to stop playing Axie in a bull or bear market. They're just not. They're going to keep getting paid to play, and these games are going to pick up because people want to get paid to play games. And the connection between NFTs and DeFi and gaming, it's inevitable. So I'm looking at these things right now, and I invested a lot into small gaming cap cryptos that were just in dumpster prices. And that's my main focus right now because I think it's the place where you can get 100 to even a 500x. For example, I invested in Illuvium. The X's on that are well above 100 at this point. And so that's where my focus is at, and that's kind of my logic behind it.
How did you go? It sounds like a fast track journey from going from Bitcoin to Degen.
Yeah.
Like most people, it takes them 2-3 years to go from Bitcoin to absolute Degen. You seem to have gone from Bitcoin to Ethereum to Cardano to absolute Degen in like 12 months, 20 months.
I don't think it's because I'm a fast learner or I'm smart or anybody else. I think it's just because I'm an idiot. Maybe, I don't know. But I saw NFTs when everything was really low, lost my butt in hash mass. That's how I learned the ropes of NFTs. And with the lower altcoins, I saw them. The products make sense. I also saw the gains and how the market would react, how the market was reacting to altcoins. And I just saw an opportunity for a lot better gains overall. Okay. And a long term, and that when I was first getting into it, it was just gambling. You know, it was like, look, I see this product pumping right here. I think this is going to pump next. That's what I'm doing. My logic right now is that I find games that I think they have a complete working product. Customers are using them. And I'm more so long-term investing in games right now. Before I was just, it was just, hey, look, you could put money in anything during the bull run, any shit coin, and it would make tons of money. And if it had a story behind it, and a good narrative, and a good team, that's what attracted to me at first. And so,
okay, so let's break up this discussion into two parts: gaming, non-gaming. Let's start off with non-gaming because I think gaming is going to take us a long time.
Yeah.
When you look at the non-gaming ecosystem right now, what's your favorite narrative? What are your favorite projects, tokens, non-gaming? And then we're going to go all in onto gaming.
So in that hemisphere, the things I'm going to look at, and I try to avoid it somewhat going too deep into too many different projects because you can't predict so many things at once. You can only watch so many parts. The two things I really will do in that part of it is if you watch how DOT, Cardano, Solana, and Ethereum and AVAX, and of course, if we go lower down to like Harmony One and whatnot, if you watch how those coins interact with each other, when one pumps really hard, people really want to get their nuts somewhere else. So people have gotten their nuts super hard in Solana and Cardano right now. They're going to want to get their pump somewhere else because that's what they're trying to do here. Everybody's here to make a lot of money. We're not here to make passive income. And so if you notice how these coins move with each other, I think people are going to move into other smart contracts. And what I noticed in the smart contract system is the ecosystems underneath them pump significantly harder. So for example, Solana, when it was pumping, Radium pumped super hard. And at the peak of that pump, Radium stopped, but Radium pumped much harder than Solana did, or at least a little bit more. If you look at Cardano was pumping, Charlie 3 pumped super hard. And I believe CardStarter was pumping super hard. So the first place I want to go if I want to make the larger gains is I'll invest in those smart contract systems by investing in the things that are lower and underneath them. The other thing I look at
what we say to our community is we say, look for the trend, then look for the chain, and then look for the projects under the chain.
Exactly.
If the chain runs, the projects underneath the chain are going to run. So if Matic runs, QuickSwap and DeFi will run. If Solana runs, Radium will run. And that's what you need to be looking at.
So the other ones that I will also look at is I want to look, and it's hard to do this because if you get into too many of them, it's just they can go either way, you know, and it's hard to read them if you're looking at too many. But I try and look at ones that have customers and a working product. So a perfect example of this that I pointed out on Twitter a while back is Coldstack. They have a system that it works better and provides cheaper storage than Amazon AWS. That's a working product that customers will use.
We've been talking about Coldstack on our show. We called it yesterday. Yeah. We said to the guys, right now, Arweave is running, Filecoin is running. It shows you that the narrative, the trend is decentralized file storage, and the interface between all these is Coldstack. Use Coldstack, and it basically outsources it to the cheapest providers.
Yep.
No brainer.
Yeah, and so when you look at stuff like that, like there's so much speculation in the market, and I got really tired of gambling on speculation. What I want to do is the thing that's going to drive prices upwards eventually when they're adopted, or right now, is going to be adoption of actual products. So when people start paying for Coldstack, when people start paying for these similar other products out there that are already existing, that's going to make it's going to decouple it from Bitcoin, because it's fueled by actual adoption and use. A lot of crypto right now is not fueled by adoption and use. It's fueled by speculation. As soon as we actually get from like the .com boom where everything goes down or whatever and stops being speculative, we're going to see the things start coming out of it that are actually fueled by actual business principles. And so those are the things I try and catch and look at. And I think a lot of people see those early on, and a lot of those were in dumpster prices. Like Coldstack's price was terrible just a week and a half ago. And it's just like, these are almost free entry points in technology that has a real future in adoption and use. So that's what I try and look for.
So Coldstack is one. Give us one or two others that you're bullish on.
So there was this one the other day. Another thing I'm looking at is what's happening in business news. Like OnlyFans tanked their business model. And so I went into this one called Treat that is basically a replacement to OnlyFans. That, so again, business model has customers using it, has girls moving over there. Not the cleanest subject, but that's something else I'll look at. Or let me see what else we got here that I'm degened into.
Like Luna, things like Arweave, things like Rune, Thorchain. Are those on your radar?
So just at that point, I'm branching really way out of my wheelhouse. I want to invest in things I understand. And before last bull run, the thing that really got me on altcoins was I would invest in things I didn't understand, so I couldn't grasp when it would go up and down. And so I'd hold altcoins a lot longer than I should have or whatnot. So of course I made some really good profits. But again, because I was in too many wheelhouses, I wasn't able to monitor things the way I wanted to monitor them. So I don't really try and break out of something. Like I get OnlyFans, not because that sounds really bad, but I get how that business model works. I get how Amazon AWS works very well because my company uses them. And other than that, I kind of try to stay away from it. At least it's the ones underneath the ecosystems. PDEX, for example, because DOT's gonna pump here. It hasn't gotten its pump yet.
October.
Yeah.
October, Parachain auctions should start launching on DOT. We think when that happens, well, then everybody's going to want DOT. All the ecosystem around DOT's going to run. I said this in June or July. I told the community this.
Yeah, the whole entire DOT eco. I mean, because people once Cardano gets its smart contract pump right here, Solana's gotten this insurmountable pump right here. I don't think Solana's going to go higher probably eventually, but people are going to see, all right, DOT's at $25, $27 ranging between there. They're going to look at the ecosystem underneath it. It's just the easy next pump, And so I'm really looking at those ecosystems. I have a lot of faith in DOT. I think KSM, Fala, I might have mispronounced that coin, PDEX.
So all the whole DOT ecosystem. Fala is the privacy coin on DOT. PDEX is the DEX on DOT. Polkadex, again, both tokens that we've spoken about on the show. Let's talk about Axie. Axie at a market cap of $4 billion. Has it had an incredible run? Overvalued or still good value?
Overvalued.
Tell me why.
You gotta look at indie games and the amount of money that they make, and the average amount of dev time that goes in the games, how hard it is to recreate these games, and then use that in context. We can look at other games that have existed. For example, Angry Birds is not worth $4 billion. It just isn't. I know this is cryptocurrency, so the valuations are extremely different. I grasp that. We have to look at how maybe it is that. I haven't checked the Angry Birds valuation. I doubt it though. We got to look at how video games, particularly on Steam, have done. How much money they make. Most games do not make over 10K. It's very rare for them to make over 300K. Only the top 3% make over like $1 million. Okay, so we're looking at these games and we're giving them multi-billion-dollar valuations. Where Axie, cool game. I'm not insulting the team. I'm not saying that the game is bad. I'm not saying anything negative about Axie whatsoever. I'm saying that game is not complicated, the code. It's not It's not the pinnacle of what people are going to play. And I think there's better games that will be released that people will find more interesting. And the way people will pick their pay-to-play games is the same way they pick their current games, by what's really, really, really good. And if you look at most games, they have an adoption curve and then it goes down. Okay. And so a lot of people are looking at Axie like it's going to be something that constantly goes up and up. But if you look at how people play games, we're probably going to see the same exact trend in how people play pay-to-earn games. And so I think we have to factor all these things in, and we're completely ignoring the behaviors of people when they play other games. Now, do I think Axie was a bad investment back in the day? No. I think right now it's at a $4 billion market cap, and there's a lot of excitement around it. And I think it's a very valuable company, and I think it's a fantastic project. That being said, I think there's other games that
we'll talk about other games.
Same rise.
What about people that say that Axie's, if you look at the price earnings ratio right now of Axie, in terms of what's actually going into the DAO, it's on a multiple of 4, which means in 4 years, if the DAO just continues to perform how it's performing, in 4 years, you'll cover your investment. I also spoke to our community yesterday. I said, right now, there are 1.2 million active daily users on Axie, which are all earning money, or most of them earning money, or half of them earning money, which means that it's almost like the same size as the biggest employers in the world. Amazon has just over 1 million employees, all earning money. Axie has whatever, I don't know, 600,000 employees, all earning money.
I definitely think there's something to that. But again, we have to look at how people are going to behave. When a new game gets adopted, or there's going to be games that are going to be hotter than Axie. There's simply going to be. If Axie is not the hottest, it's the first game ever to do something like this. There's going to be games that are significantly hotter. And then we're also going to see the main, like, here's the thing we need to really effing factor in. EA Games and every other huge game studio, they know what's going on. They're not just going to sit back and be like, oh, okay, you guys have this market, it's cool. So we have to factor those two things on. So those two things, obviously the currency in Axie and the value of people's time when they play games. A lot of people right now maybe not playing Axie because they absolutely love it. I don't really know. But the thing is, the games that get hotter, the value of the NFTs, the value of the money in those games, the value of what they can earn is going to be, it's going to follow the hype. So we'll see the profit from playing Axie decrease compared to playing this other game, compared to the fact that people might not be absolutely in love with Axie, and compared also that when people play video games, even if you look at World of Warcraft, you look at Overwatch, you look at any game the last few years.
Okay.
Curve. And so I think we've put that all in, and I think Axie is it's not an Amazon. That's all I'm saying.
You've taken your money out of Axie. Where do you put your money in the gaming industry right now? And I know you can say, okay, you should have put your money in Illuvium, you would have made 100x, you should have put your money. Right now, I have $100,000 or $10,000. I want exposure to internet play to earn NFT gaming.
Yeah.
What am I putting my money into and why?
So I'm going to talk about a few projects that have already gotten a pretty high market cap, because if I mention anything like a $2 to $3 million range, it's just going to pump, and your fans, anybody who watches this video, they'll get in too late. All the people that are dumpers will dump on them. It'll be a total mess. So the logic I looked at when I was investing, and I've made a lot of really, really, really good gains lately, is I want to find projects that have a complete game like Axie. They have users using them. They have a great NFT system underneath them. And the project's already complete and working, okay? Or it has to have a really strong foundation, which I'll get to here in a second. So, for example, when I was scrolling around, I noticed Chain Guardians. The price was in dumpster. It's a great game. It's a good game. You can earn money. The earn to play model is coming out here really, really soon. If you look at Snook, it's a complete game that's releasing here very soon. It's going to have tournaments. It has a $72,000 tournament coming up.
Snook is the snake game. It's a snake game. It's amazing.
Yeah, and then Crypto Blades, for example, coming up. It's a sequel, so it already has a player base to it. We can keep going a little bit. There's actually 3 places I'm looking at. So CGG was just a really good forgotten one. For example, Virtue Poker, their price was in the dumpster, the absolute dumpster, and it's a working game with people actually using it. So the first place I'm going to look at in crypto gaming is just these projects that have been forgotten are in dumpster prices. And if we get another dip, like you said, that's when I'm going to really start looking at other games that are already pumped up really as well. The other place I'm looking at in these things is what projects are going to come and have a great product already loaded up. So like, for example, D-Race is a horse racing game. We've seen how well Zed did, but Zed is a very limited game and it's kind of a mess. D-Race is extremely well organized. The horse NFTs are significantly better, and they're going to be doing a big horse NFT drop. And I think one of the biggest things you can do is find the NFT drops on these games coming up, because you can get them at dirt cheap prices, and then these assets have actual use to people. So if you get some of the best horses when it drops, or Rumble Kongs, for example, if you got into Rumble Kongs really early, you could get that for nothing. And then finally, the other place I'm looking at is you got to look at things like Treeverse, for example. Land and digital games is going to be huge. Now, I'm not 100% sure whether the Treeverse pump that's going on in their NFTs is reasonable. I'm not saying it is or it isn't. I don't know. But if we look at a game coming up like NTV or NetBark, I always mispronounce their name, but they have a phenomenal VR land, kind of like Sandbox, but you can buy the land, the real estate in it, but then you can have your stores and your digital stores there, and the graphics are a lot more realistic, and you can actually code and build things in the game, and it's a lot better for developers right there. So if I'm going to look at other things, they're going to pump and say, where are we going to be living at? Where are we going to be interacting at in the future? And then where can I buy up real estate in that too? So I'm looking, if I was going to sum this up in this rant up in the 3 points, one, I look for games that have existing products teams that are really good, that have just been forgotten. It's easy. If they were trading before at like $4 and they're down to 50 cents, but the product is still intact and it's at a $5 million market cap, easy. Then I'm going to be looking for particularly things in gambling or NFT drops that are related to the games that have a complete product coming up. D-Race looks really good. Snook looks really good when it actually has a working product and NFTs coming with it. Crypto Blades it's a sequel. Things like that. And of course, there's existing games that are already super pumped that already have this. For example, Illuvian is going to have NFT Pokemon, and you can play that. It goes without saying. Finally, I want to look at the metaverses where people are going to potentially live in or use, and then buy up the real estate in those, because you've seen with like Treeverse, that's an easy 20, 30x ROI like that. And I think that's the thing that's going to come after NFTs. So those are all the places I'm heavily super duper focused on, as well as like the IDO platforms for the games, because people are going to want to invest in these games. I think it's going to take off as well.
Platforms, Poly Launcher, Seedify. So yes. I think Seedify is positioning itself as the premier gaming launchpad.
Superfarm's going to do some good stuff too. I mean, either what he's doing at Superfarm, I would it's damn impressive. So I would also factor him in there.
We're investors in many of these metaverse launchpads. We're investors in Poly Launcher. We're investors in Superfarm. Amazing project from Elio. Never, ever bet against Elio, because that guy wins in everything that he does. Seedify, super interesting because decentralized, fully focused on gaming, new. Token has moved relatively quickly. And I think it's time for them to start delivering on the actual games, launching actual games. I think that's going to happen pretty soon. I think that's what you got to keep your eyes open for.
Seedify, I mean, with the hype that's going to be around gaming right here, I think Star Atlas is going to just do a silly IDO, and it's just going to set the tone that game IDOs are the place to be. And I think if you can catch these things early, like I did with the Illuvium, I was able to get in that super duper early. You catch a few of these.
We had a bad experience with Star Atlas here at the Banter team, Freddie. We did. We did. We're not behind that project. We had not such a good experience with them.
We'll have to talk about that later. I don't want to poo-poo on anything.
Listen, we're out of time, brother. We out of time for now, but I think we definitely need to get you back here more regularly. It's been amazing. It's been amazing to get your journey and how quickly you've done this and how quickly you've gone into absolute Degen mode. Absolutely amazing. Much honor.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for having me on here. I'm flattered that you guys value my opinion, and everybody's watching. Thank you so much. I really value your time, and thanks a ton.
Much honor.
You got all
much appreciation.
You got all the gifts. All right, man. Well, I'll catch you later.
Chat to you soon, brother, man.
All right, cool.
One of us, an absolute Degen. One of us, absolute Degen. Love him. He has got an amazing YouTube channel. Description link is in the thing below. I think that's it for this show, and we'll do a microdose in like an hour. But in about an hour from now, hour and a half, we'll drop you guys a microdose because there's lots of news. There's Arweave news, there's Luna news, there is Bitcoin news. We had Visa news, which is yesterday's news. Visa published a white paper on NFTs. We can talk about that. Oh, that's the news. Okay, what else? A couple more stories. Freddie says, don't give it all away. So I'll see you guys again in a bit. Until then, trade well, guys. And use the After Banter hashtag to discuss this show. Like we're living in a
My tinglies are going off. I'm starting to get those tingles.